If you really care, stop buying your damn mansions and actually go help black people who need it. Hey, welcome back to The Laughing Libertarian. I'm your host, Alan McFarland. I'm going to switch it up a little bit on the reactions as far as music videos. I know we've hit some Tom MacDonald. I appreciate everybody who's been, subscribing because of that. But today I want to talk about Tyson James and Bryson Gray with The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. We go ahead and just dig into that. Go ahead, Josh.
They turned me into public enemy number one for accurately talking about George Floyd, not in the capacity of a hero, but in the capacity of a person who was addicted to drugs and who had enough fentanyl in the system to kill a horse. That made people angry because people were invested in the emotion of Black Lives Matter.
Go ahead, stop it there. That's good enough right there. Candace makes some good points right there because literally looking at the fentanyl, man, the amount of fentanyl in his system, and basically Black Lives Matter, everybody knows it. Anybody watching this video at least knows Black Lives Matter played on people's emotions. They really they showed you that pretty awful video. I'm not going to say it was an okay, clean, clear cut video. It was pretty awful. And they played on your emotions. They owned your emotions for you. Before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and just give a little rundown. Make sure to like, share, subscribe at The Laughing Libertarian. Check out Revolver Broadcasting on Facebook, True Social, all of our other shows. They're fantastic. Not quite like mine, but that's what we do. So check them out, see what you like, see what you love. Make sure to share and subscribe. Thanks, guys.
So look, I'm wearing the shirt. It is the BLM symbol, but instead I've inserted some cash into it because what they really did is they robbed Americans.
Don't let a good crisis go to waste. If it's white on black, there's money to be made. They pressured big tech and everyone obeyed. You better come up out the wallet, everybody paid. How's it feel to get played? Now where's your foresight? How you didn't see it coming, this ain't Fortnite. Now they spending out your...
You know what I love about this, though, especially, I'm going to look over at Josh. I always do. He's right over here making sure all this happens. One thing I really love is with everything going on with Kanye right now, he's being sued by, his daughters. He's being sued by Mr. Floyd's daughters because of things he happened to say. The funny thing about that is he chipped in a ton of money to pay for them to go to college. And, that just shows the kind of greed that's wrapped around this. This family has gotten so much money. However, no one else has benefited from it. Black Lives Matter soaked all that money up and put it in their back pocket, their front pocket, and some stripper pockets. But I'm pretty sure we'll find out more about that. Go ahead.
Money on these porn sites, demanding that you put a fist up. You were born white. $80 million, where that money at? We all tried to tell you when it's funny that Candace got receipts. Now all of a sudden everybody mad. You said I was racist. Now look who's wearing the dummy hat. It's common sense. You ain't.
The fact that they're able to play, everybody, we've all been through this, right? We went through 2020, 2021. The simple fact that if you don't agree with what they're doing or what they're saying makes you a racist. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if a white person's out there screaming Black Lives Matter with their fists in the air. If you disagree based on sheer logic, you don't use your emotion, if you don't bring yourself down, if you don't stomp your feet, throw your hand in the air and throw your money into it or scream at other people and try to force them to throw their money into it, you're a racist. That's kind of the narrative in America these days. If like Obama, when Obama had any kind of bad policy, if you challenged that policy, the policy itself, you were a racist. You didn't like that policy just because a black man made it. That's silly, guys. Come on. Same thing here. All of these crazy policies and all the crazy rhetoric from Black Lives Matter just did nothing but fall on deaf ears. And so if you happen to challenge that, if you just happen to think logically and challenge it and say, guys, you're making a bigger deal out of this than it really is. And regardless if a person lost their life, I get it. Maybe it was due to fentanyl. Maybe it was due to a knee on the back of the neck. Maybe it was careless actions. Any of those things falling into place.
It was for sure the fentanyl.
Hey, only a very large horse could have survived that amount of fentanyl. But still, we got to give them the benefit of the doubt.
George Floyd didn't.
So anyway, let's get back to the video. But I just want to say, it's silly that no matter what you do, if you deny or you challenge, even with logic, it makes you a racist. That's pathetic. Go ahead.
Dummy hat, it's common sense. You ain't got it. Look at where you studied at. Now that truth comes out, you want a shot. Away from all the questions, everybody asking why. Why you never help the families of people who died? You pippin' George Floyd, now everything was a lie. It's the greatest lie ever sold. Take the money, run and leave the families in the cold. BLM is only in it for the gold. It's the greatest lie ever sold. Sit down and listen.
You know, it's funny when you think about it, how much money they actually made off of all this. Wasn't enough money to actually fix all the damage done to the cities. I was just thinking about that when he was talking about that. They didn't make enough money to repair the cities that their actions and that their rhetoric caused people to destroy. Okay, and I'm not a big person on blaming organizations, blaming government, blaming anything other than people who are responsible for doing what they did. If they went and set fire, it's not because of this. If they went and did this, it's not because of that. It's because of their own actions. But at the end of the day, they made a ton of money, and not enough money could even be spread around to fix the damage that they caused by playing on people's emotions.
Sit down and listen to the greatest lie ever sold. Take the money, run and leave the families in the cold. BLM is only in it for the gold. It's the greatest lie ever sold. It's all a lie.
Isn't it funny that they exploiting people that ain't coming back? All for your coins, now I bet you want your money back. Sending LGBT charities a couple hundred racks. Meanwhile, George Floyd roommates ain't getting none of that. They making shrines for George Floyd like he's Jesus. How you get away with something so egregious?
Yeah, all those murals and all those statues. I think there was a giant bust even made of him. Come on, guys. This is another person, bad situation. He died. But you were tearing down statues of people who helped build this country. The same summer, they were putting up statues of George Floyd. Yeah, I would look at his rap sheet and then look at the horrible things that the other people did and just say, scoreboard. That's all I have to say. Go ahead.
Egregious. Family members that ain't seen them giving speeches. Y'all got scammed by a bunch of dirty leeches. They say, Bryson, you should act nice, but Black Lives Matter never benefited Black lives.
Yes,
Tell companies
right there.
to enrich themselves. Is that right? They move to
Stop that. Oh my God, man. That's such a good statement. Like, Black Lives Matter never actually benefited Black lives. And that's what people kept screaming. Like, if Black lives really matter, go into these neighborhoods and save some. Go in these neighborhoods and actually pick at the people who are killing other Black people. Period. They're not saving Black lives. They're there to bankroll you on your emotions. Exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. And I'm going to be repetitive because that's what it is. If you really care, stop buying your damn mansions and actually go help Black people who need it. You took the money, invest the money, not in yourselves, not in the bullshit you're doing or your family's doing, or you're hiring your own brother for security because you're a dipshit. Like, that's not going to come back. And they're spending the money on entertainers. Come on now. Go ahead.
enrich themselves. Is that right? They move to neighborhoods where everyone is in fact white. Her brother does graffiti but got a mill for protection. They use millions of your money for stocks, investing. They pay people to protest, but in this there's a lesson. Stop letting the elite get rich by selling you oppression.
Greatest lie ever sold. Take the money, run and leave the families in the cold.
Yeah, they got rich by selling you oppression. Exactly. They took your money, they invested it. Did they invest it for Black people or Black neighborhoods? Are they actually trying to raise up those areas? Are they going to try to help the single mothers raising children in those areas? No, they're not. They're not at all. That investment is surely for their own pockets, themselves. I mean, they're not looking at you. They're looking at their own families. And yeah, sure, Black Lives Matter to them. They just have to share the same last name as them. That's what it is. You know, you buy a mansion, then when you get called on it, you turn around and say, oh, this was going to be a public property. Shut your damn mouth. You were caught. Just make it happen. Make it right.
Is only in it for the gold. It's the greatest lie ever sold. Sit down and listen to the greatest lie ever sold. Take the money, run and leave the families in the cold. BLM is only in it for the gold. It's the greatest lie ever sold. It's all a lie. Now we know the truth. Now we got the proof. Now we know that BLM was lying to the youth. Alex Jones paid $900 million, that's abuse. They should pay it all back and some, no excuse. They burning cities to the ground. Invested in the stock market, tell me what's that sound, huh? Sound like they some hypocrites, let me expound. Buying mansions in the hills while the people bound. Rioting and looting in the...
No, I'm just saying, like, there it is right there. He's just talking about exactly what I was just talking about. Like, these, I mean, it's pathetic. It's, Ugh, I feel dirty. Go ahead. Right. Yeah, exactly. If Alex Jones has to pay it back, come on. Let's pull those hundreds out the rubber band and make something happen for some people. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Streets. Now why you give your money to Patrice? Collecting all the money while defunding our police. Benefiting on debt, man, they don't want the peace. They are not content, all they want to do is eat. I feel like all these lies are getting old. You are gonna lose, you are getting owned.
Hold on real quick. He actually just threw a little, I heard like lesbians go through the background there. That's the other thing no one realized. If you actually read their charter statement, did you ever read their charter statement? It was mostly about breaking families down to denormalize the regular family that we see, to push an agenda that was more based on LGBTQ+. Come on, guys. I mean, really, just read the charter. Look at the flags, right? When you see a Black Lives Matter flag, it's usually a rainbow flag with the fist in it. That's usually what it is, because they want to push that agenda and they're trying to normalize all the LGBTQ+ stuff. But they're driving. They know they can't drive that because people don't feel quite as bad about interactions. You don't see as many bad interactions between trans people and police officers, for instance. So they took this narrative that people already believe in this country. They took something that people are already worried about and talking about, and they've been talking about since the dawn of time in this country, and they just radicalized it. They just took it, they drove it straight to the bank, and people ate it up because big companies didn't want to look racist. They wanted to look like they were inclusive and they cared about everybody. Celebrities who had this money, they basically just looked at these people that had money and said, look, you either give us money or we'll label you a racist. It's just a perfect shakedown.
Don't forget the Marxism.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Marxism, definitely. All socialist Marxism. They were pushing all kinds of things that really had nothing to do with black people whatsoever. It's a nightmare. But if you can even find the charter statement, these days it's hard to find a lot of stuff about Black Lives Matter. That's really the truth, because people have given up on their shit. I mean, they've seen, the mansions, they've seen the money being spent. I mean, Candace Owens is doing a hell of a job exposing that too. And as that stuff keeps coming out, you stop hearing about Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter is a statement. I have no problem with that. That's fantastic. I'm definitely a person who believes everybody's life matters. And I'm not going to say all lives matter, blah, blah, none of that crap. I'm not trying to compete with Black Lives Matter. But what I'm saying is the statement is never where any of us had a problem at all. It was the organization and how they run it. And now we're seeing why. Now we have proof. Go ahead.
Candace ain't playing better fold. Sit down and listen to the greatest lie ever sold. It's the greatest lie ever sold. Take the money, run and leave the families in the cold. BLM is only in it for the gold. It's the greatest lie ever sold. Sit down and listen to the greatest lie ever sold. Take the money, run and leave the families in the cold. BLM is only in it for the gold. It's the greatest lie ever sold. It's all a lie. Hey, we just screaming the truth louder than they can scream the lies.
Go ahead, cut it right there. I love that. We're just screaming the truth louder than they can scream the lies. That's about changing the culture. If you watch any of Tyson James stuff, man, he's been doing that for a while now. He is definitely really talented guy. Bryson Gray, really talented guy. And they're both just standing up to all of this. And every time something comes out, I mean, they drop every time a new story comes out, man. I feel kind of behind. We just have to get in front of a camera and write about it or talk about it. These guys are literally writing lyrics, putting music up, putting videos together. I mean, I don't know if I can keep up with these guys. And they have a lot more to do than me. So anyway, check out Tyson James. Check out Bryson Gray. Definitely check out. I'm not getting any sponsorship here or anything like that, but definitely check out Candace Owens. They're really putting in work, and they're doing amazing work at that. And as far as all of us here, again, this is Alan McFarland, Laughing Libertarian. Please like, share, subscribe. We had a ton of subscribers last week. I truly appreciate it, and man, we're just trying to make this get monetized so we can bring it bigger and better in the future. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Thank you guys. Until next time.